With the offseason full underway in full swing, the reports are coming out from all over, from so many different sources, that the Chicago Cubs just aren't going to spend a ton of money this year. Let's review it right after this. What's going on, Cubs fans? How's everybody doing? Super excited to be here with you guys again. It's your boy Mike Jones back with another episode of Chicago Cubs Central. And I just wanted to drop in on this on today and just give you an episode where and necessarily like there isn't much news that's happened so far. Tomorrow we'll get back to our daily ratings of players from last season, 2024 season, and what they can improve on for 2025. But I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about the Chicago Cubs and their unwillingness to spend money. Um, it's something that is plaguing this franchise and has plagued this franchise, I believe, really since the Ricketts took over as ownership of the Chicago Cubs. I mean, when you really think about the squad Theo put together, I mean, like I said, you could probably list off maybe three players that he really went out and spent money on to get. One of those being, of course, John Lester. Cubs were just unwilling to sign guys to huge contracts. I mean, you think about they almost ended up losing Dexter Fowler after 2015. He almost didn't come back for 2016 just because the Cubs again were unwilling to spend that money. Um, this has just been the mindset of the Chicago Cubs, and like I said, it's just something that we are not expecting. If you are expecting the Chicago Cubs to go after a top tier player in this free agency, you are looking in the wrong direction. The Chicago Cubs are looking in tier 2 to tier 3 for pretty much any player that they're willing to spend money on. They believe, I believe, one, that they have the talent already to be able to compete. They just have to get better around the margins instead of going out and ensuring that you're going to get better, not around the margins, but just in general. The Chicago Cubs are just flat out expecting Craig Counsell and the guys that they have right now to outplay what their projections are. And that's tough. That's tough on players, that's tough on fans, that's tough on the manager. I'm pretty sure that's tough on Craig Counsell. You know, he's going to have to find a way to win games. But then again, when you really think about it, that's really why the Cubs went and got Craig Counsell. It all kind of makes sense now why the Cubs went and did what they did and why they spent the money that they did to go get a manager like Craig Counsell. That's why he is the highest paid manager in Major League Baseball today. It's because the Chicago Cubs want him to manage this team like the Milwaukee Brewers were managed. The Brewers are not a team known for spending a lot of money. The Brewers are a team that, you know, cheaps out, builds through the draft, builds through the farm system, and like I said, just creates their own stars. If they land a star that wants to come there, it's either usually through trade or through them building that star through the farm system. They are not known to go out and sign big names like that. They just don't do it. Um, and again, I mean, I believe that Ricketts and Hoyer want to run this team like the Brewers. They are trying to use that type of model, which in some ways I guess is smart. Obviously, if you're trying to save money or at least be smart with the money that you do spend. But this is Chicago. These are the Chicago Cubs. This is a landmark team that plays in one of the most beautiful stadiums ever created, that still has a historic franchise attached to it, has had multiple historic franchises play in it. And now you look at the state of the Chicago Cubs and the state that we're in right now, and I guess that might be the title of this. And it's just like we just not gonna spend money. We don't treat our team, we don't treat our fans, our organization like it's top tier. Chicago was one of the top 4 cities in all of the country. Definitely top 10, maybe top 20 in all of the world. Top 1 in my heart. But yet and still, I feel like the Chicago fans are steadily being robbed and cheated by cheap ownership. Ownership that isn't really ready to spend the money or prepared to spend the money that it takes to be champions. I once had somebody tell me that the 2016 World Series was luck. I don't subscribe to the fact that it was luck, but you do have to have some sense of luck in a championship type of season. But the way that that team was built, it was built to be sustained for years. However, the bottom fell off because Bryant kept getting injured and Baez would swing at everything and Rizzo kept having too many slumps where he would hit at least 200 or under. And so when you take out the crux of that team, Dexter Fowler going to going to the Cardinals, Jason Hayward, man, that contract was horrible. Good God. And then of course Addison Russell getting those abuse charges and basically not being a part of the team anymore after that. These are all things that you look at that 2016 team and you think to yourself, man, they could have been something. Some of those guys still could have been here or been traded for even better pieces or younger pieces. But you look at the Cubs right now and you look at the state that they're in. And if you ask me, I wouldn't say that the Cubs are necessarily in the worst position. They're just not where they could be. And I feel like everybody sees that, but 2 people, Ricketts and Hoyer. And maybe Hoyer sees it. Maybe Carter Hawkins sees it. Maybe even Tom Ricketts sees it. But they're unwilling to do what it takes to move this team to the next level. They're unwilling to do what it takes to spend the money that it's going to take. No, instead, they'd rather get creative. And I know what some of you out there may say, like, oh, well, Cody Bellinger opting in is what handicapped the Cubs from going after a Juan Soto. No. Ricketts said that he's unwilling to go above that luxury tax is what's stopping the Cubs from getting Juan Soto. Or at least from trying. I mean, listen, if you go after somebody and you strike out, I get it. That sucks. That's not the way you want your team to be ran. You don't want to have that type of luck, but at least try. At least market this team as a place, a destination place for guys to go where they're going to get A, paid, B, compete. Most players in today's league, that's what they look for. Am I going to get paid? Are we going to compete? And the Cubs sell you on the history of Wrigley Field. They sell you on the history of the sea. They sell you on the history of the fans. They sell you on guys like Ryan Sandberg. They sell you on guys like Sammy Sosa. They sell you on guys like Mark Pryor, Kerry Wood, Carlos Zambrano. They sell you on people like that, and they tell you, like, oh my gosh, like you can come here and you can make a name for yourself. But they won't pay you. And they won't take the time to do what they have to do to really bring in those big names. I am so tired of Chicago organizations treating us like our namesake, like we're a second city. Chicago is not a second-rate city. Chicago is a destination place. It's a beautiful city. It has so much opportunity, so much wealth. But these owners, and I'm not just talking about Ricketts, I'm talking about Reinsdorf with both organizations. I'm talking about the McCaskies, whoever owns the Blackhawks. I mean, I'm so tired of seeing these teams treat themselves like they can't spend the money. They can't afford to go out and build a powerhouse. Every league that has a Chicago team in it, I guarantee you that director of personnel, that general manager, that league, the league, whoever the league person is, they will tell you the league itself is better when that Chicago team is competing. And I'm not just talking about rolling the ball out and competing. I'm talking about when they're in championship mode. It drives revenue, it drives money, it drives fans. Chicago fans are some of the most passionate fans this world has. And yet these owners treat these teams like second rate. And it's sad, man. So, off my soapbox and onto the article, Bleacher Nation reported that the Chicago Cubs are not going to go after anybody like a Max Fried, as good as a fit as it would be. The Cubs' priority remains pitching. The top tier of starting pitching market has been ruled out. The Cubs have also often stayed away from pitchers with qualifying offers. That makes Sean Mania, Luis Severino, and Nick Pivetta less than likely than Nathan Eovaldi, UC Kikuchi, and maybe even Jack Flaherty as the potential options for the Chicago Cubs. Uh, like I said, it's weird. It's weird that this team that we know is on the cusp of really being where they should be isn't going to spend that money, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that the Cubs are just not going to spend that money. They have not spent that money, and they won't spend that money. I mean, it's just it's unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate. BVM Sports also went by and talked about the top three pitching prospects, or not prospects, I'm sorry, the top three pitching free agents that the Cubs might try to go after. Obviously, right now, they need help in the bullpen as well as far as guys that they can go hand the ball to. Obviously, they have Julian Merriweather, who is under contract. But to bolster their roster, the reports are coming out that the Cubs are eyeing three recently non-tendered pitchers: Jacob Webb, Alex Young, and Austin Voth, who each bring unique strengths and could be acquired at an affordable price. So Jacob Webb had a 3.02 ERA and struck out 58 batters in 60 appearances for Baltimore. Austin Voth recorded a 3.69 ERA with 61 strikeouts over 68 appearances in 2024. So while these pitchers present promising options, potential concerns include Webb's lack of closer experience, Young's injury history, and Voss's previous inconsistency in other seasons. So each pitcher brings risk along with their capabilities, affecting the long-term viability for the Cubs. So I mean, right now the Cubs currently only have Julian Merriweather under contract, indicating a need for significant bullpen reinforcements. And with substantial financial flexibility, the Cubs are positioned to target high upside pitchers like the non-tendered options that I just mentioned to you. But again, you can forget about the Cubs going after any of those big names again, but they do have to fill out that roster. You're looking at right now with the players that the Cubs non-tendered, we got about $56 million to work with. So, like I said, the Cubs have to figure out exactly what they're going to do with that money, and hopefully they can make some decisions soon here and start signing some guys here soon. Again, I just wanted to hop on here and I just wanted to talk, just thinking about the fact that the Cubs themselves just are not going to spend and swing for the fences. And I guess reality's just setting in that if the Cubs are going to be relevant, guys are going to have to play above their contract value. Guys are going to have to oversee what you expect of them. And that's the only way we're going to win. Unless we make a big trade, unless the team is willing to make a trade. But again, any team that trades for a Cody Bellinger or something like that, they are not going to trade you their best pieces for Cody Bellinger. They're trading Cody Bellinger to add on to the good pieces they already have. You're looking at potentially just getting prospects or mid-level guys for a Cody Bellinger trade. So where do the Cubs get better around the margins? Where is this money going to be spent? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Reality's kind of setting in, man. Like I said, it's It's kind of setting in, and it might be scary hours for the Chicago Cubs. I don't know, guys. But that's my time for today. I need you guys to comment below and let me know what you think on the state of the Cubs, where they at, where we're looking at in free agency, and where the Cubs are headed. I don't know. I don't know. But like, comment, subscribe, share, guys. We are over 1,000. We reached that 1,000 goal. Now we are headed towards that 2,000 goal. I need you guys to like, share, subscribe to the pod. If this is your first time watching Chicago Cubs Central with your boy Mike Jones, I appreciate you so much. Once again, please, please, please like, share, subscribe to the network. Me and Big Kev are steadily trying to grow this network, and we need your help to do so. I appreciate you guys.